Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Hannah and I'm the mom with muscle. And in today's video, we are talking about 10 of my favorite faux stems from Hobby Lobby on top of how I store my stems. So if this is something you're interested in watching, just keep on watching. But if you haven't already though, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know to hit that bell button for every time I upload a video. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, I would love to have you over at Mom with Muscle. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So like I said, we are talking about 10 of my favorite faux stems that you can purchase today at Hobby Lobby. I have everything from greens to florals, and then towards the end of this video, I'm gonna showcase how I store my stems. I've gotten this questions a lot, like what are the best practices on storing the stems that you aren't using on a daily basis? So I will be showcasing that towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that, but let's get into this video. So we're gonna start with the Greenery first, starting with this first guy. I will try to link everything from Hobby Lobby. Sometimes I can find the stems online and sometimes I can't. So I will do my best. So check the description box below. Let's start with this guy. This is the first one. This is a rather new stem for me, hence why it still has the price tag on it. This guy was priced at $6.99. I always purchase my stems when they are on sale. I will never buy full price. They are always running sales at Hobby Lobby, especially on their stems and their greenery. So be on the hunt for that. But this is a rather new stem. I liked it because it's essentially a eucalyptus branch. And I love when I'm styling my stems, I don't like them perfect. I always kind of like a normal, stem would be. It's not going to be perfect. So I try to kind of bend it where it's, irregular. And I love the color of this. It's a muted light green, and I love this for incorporating with some of my florals. As you guys will see in my example, I love mixing the greens with the florals to just give it dimension, just like you would with any normal floral arrangement. So this guy is definitely one of my faves, and I do love that it is a long stem, so you are able to bend it towards the length of your vessel or your vase that you are looking to style. But this guy is the first stem on my list. All right, the second stem is such an oldie but a goodie. I know a lot of you guys probably already have this, but it is this olive bundle. Now, Hobby Lobby has stems, and then if you work your way kind of further down, they do have a section where they do more of these bundle type faux stems. And I love these because they take up square footage. These are gonna be great for, a vase that has maybe a bigger opening. It takes up more volume, it takes up more space, so you don't need as many. So usually when I style with these, I usually maybe need 2 or 3 of them. These do cost a little bit more money than the normal stems. I think these are more towards that like $15.99 and $20 range. Again, only shop when they're doing their discounts on their stems, but love this. I love that it's dark green. You get the dimension there from the little olives there and dark brown. There's not much to say about it. I love these. These are ones that I'm always gonna have in my house, and I love, again, that they take up a lot of space, so you don't need much of it. So that is the second item and second stem on my list. You guys are probably gonna be so over these next stems, but I swear by them. These are my eucalyptus willow branch. These are just so beautiful. I love that they are just whimsical. They're simple. You can really manipulate these branches, really appreciate. So if you're wanting kind of that more like wabi-sabi look where there's only 2 or 3 stems within a vessel that has a smaller opening, these are awesome. I love these for styling on my kitchen island. You get that height. The stem is super, super long, so you have a lot of playing with heights. I usually, when I style with these guys, I style with 3 of them, and then I will bend the bottoms to different heights. So you're getting tall, medium, small, and that way the leaves are really, all over when you're styling with these. These stems are gonna be a little bit more of that expensive, I think more towards the $15 to $20 range, but again, you don't need a lot of them. They make an impact with only 2 or 3 stems. So that's the next item on my list. You guys will recognize this next one if you caught my, my Amazon haul, I think. Amazon video, I don't know. It's this amazing, it looks like a bush. I don't know what the terminology is for this particular faux stem. It is in a bundle, and you guys can tell, so I gotta get out of frame here a little bit. It's asymmetrical, so it is longer on one side, which is super cool when you're styling like a sideboard because it kind of cascades down the side. I had this styled in my entryway and I absolutely loved it, but it is now on my coffee table. I do like this bundle for maybe styling a coffee table, something that's a little bit more low profile, which is great, but you're also getting that volume like the olive bush. There's a lot of it, so you only need 1 or 2 of these if you're wanting a big statement. I love the color of this. It's in a nice muted kind of sagey green. It doesn't scream faux. When I'm shopping my stems, I'm looking for something that is the most realistic. I don't want people to know that I have a bunch of faux stems. I want it to look real, obviously. So I steer clear from like the super green stems or the super bright and vibrant florals. I think that makes it look cheap and it screams that it is not real. So keep your eye out for something that's a little bit more muted, something that doesn't scream fake. I know a few of you have actually purchased this little bundle, but that's the next faux stem on my list. Now this next faux stem is a little bit different than the normal greenery that I just showed. So this is a rather new purchase for me as well. It has the kind of brown base there, and then the stems are like a little, I don't even know how to describe the stems on these, but it's so beautiful when it's styled in a vessel. I have this currently styled in our loft upstairs. I think I only have 3 or 4 stems, so you, again, don't need a lot. Again, manipulate those branches to kind of give it some movement. And I love it because you have dimension with the colors. There's a little bit of dark green, a little bit of sage green, almost speckles of yellow or citrine and white in there. It's just a really interesting stem. And this stem does come in multiple colors. I think they have blue, they have brown, which would be really pretty for the fall time. And I think they had a pink. Don't take my word for it, but love these, a little bit different. So that's the next item on my list. So the next stem that I recently purchased, which I absolutely love, is this willow type branch. I love these because you can see that they're like just sprouting greenery. So I feel like it's such a great representation for springtime. It's like the new growth. These are another really great branch that you can really manipulate the branches. You can really pull them apart, bend, and again, manipulate the branches to go wherever you want. You don't need a lot of these. This is currently in my vessel behind me, and I have a total of 3, and I think they make the perfect statement. So that's the next stem on my list. All right, we are shifting into the florals. I only have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 4 florals here. So let's start with the rather new purchase, which you guys will be familiar with, which is this beautiful lavender. Loving lavender for springtime, and this is, it screams spring, it screams summer. I love that it is a bundle. I'm really liking these for styling because again, you don't need many of them. You need 2, maybe even 1 depending on how big your vase is. This is a really great representation of lavender. It just looks wild. There's no, it's not symmetrical. You have short branches, you have long branches. They have the muted green there, which is nice. This one does shed just a hair because it's almost flocked a little bit, but with that, you just hit it with hairspray like you would do like a pampas grass, and that alleviates that mess. So that's the first bundle for my flower section. All right, the second flowers, which you guys will, if you guys have been with me, you guys will recognize these guys. These are also really great. I think these are supposed to be a poppy of some sort or some sort of wildflower, but aren't those beautiful? I love that the color of this is super muted green, kind of a sagey green, very dainty and delicate. I have this bundle and I have this floral currently styled on my coffee table. I just love that the colors kind of go, and it's really pretty, but thought these are really great for springtime and even coming into summer. You could even incorporate this during the fall time with maybe some warmer tones, but thought this was super pretty. I love that it is dainty. I love that it is simple and very feminine. I just love that. So that's the next little stem on my list. All right, moving into my second to last stem. This one doesn't scream real, so my thoughts on this guy. This is a rather new purchase for me. I purchased this for $5.99, and this is what it looks like. What I will do is I will feed in live eucalyptus to kind of give it some dimension and to not make it seem so faux, but I really love dimension of this particular stem. I love that it is white. It's got some texture there. Yeah, I don't know why. I just kind of gravitated towards this for the springtime. And I love bringing in white stems. I don't typically do a ton of color. I mean, the lavender is an exception just because it is more of like a muted purple. But when it comes to my stems, I try to keep it rather neutral. I don't like things to really clash. I won't do pink in one room, purple in another room, yellow in another room. I just think that kind of gets a little distracting. So when I do my faux stems, I will typically do the same color all the way around. So it is, uniform, and that way it's not, again, clashing with one another. But I thought that was really pretty. And again, I will typically feed in a live eucalyptus, or you could even pull in another stem, kind of like I was talking about. You could bring in some stem like that to just kind of give it some contrast, and that way it doesn't seem super faux by itself. That was the next item on my list. All right, and the 10th and final stem on this list is this beautiful faux ranunculus. This one was priced at $6.99, and I love that it is simple. I love that it resembles a ranunculus. Ranunculars are such a beautiful flower. They always come in beautiful, vibrant colors, but I thought this was pretty because it's simple. The stems are very muted green. You can kind of see they have a little bit of a flocking there, so they aren't like a super bright green. The ranunculus, the actual flower, looks very realistic, and I currently have these styled with this stem to kind of give it some dimension. My powder bath, I thought that was really pretty together. So don't be afraid when you're shopping stems to kind of mix your flowers with a greenery like you would a normal floral arrangement. You don't just have florals, you have it mixed with greenery to give it some dimension, to give it some contrast between the different greens, and to make it feel and look as realistic as possible. But these were one of my newer finds, and I just really love those for spring and summertime. So that's the last and final stem on this Hobby Lobby list. So now I'm gonna show you guys how I store my stems. I've gotten this question a ton, like what are the best practices? How do you store your stems? How do they not get messed up? So this is just how I store my stems. So hopefully you guys will get inspired to maybe reorganize depending on how you guys have yours stored away, but this is how I do it. I've purchased a oversized storage container. I have it in a longer version. So you can get a shorter one. It's more for like wrapping paper. They do make those where they're on wheels. So if you want to store underneath the bed, that is a great way to do it as well. If you're shopping for a box, make sure that it is longer to fit the stems that have a longer stem on them. So I have it labeled spring and greenery, so I know what I have in that box. And then I have one for more of the fall time stems as well. I have it stored in our under the staircase closet up above. Now, when I store the stems, I zip tie them in a bundle. That way I have all the stems in one bundle. That way I know how many I have. And then I will alternate the stems when I'm laying them within the box. That way they're not top heavy on one side. And that just seems to be the best way that I store my stems on a daily basis. They're in a very accessible area. I can just take it down, I can swap it out. Again, zip tie all of my bundles together so that way they are nice and organized. But yeah, and that is how I store my stems. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my best of Hobby Lobby stems, as well as how to store your stems appropriately. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you like content like this. And as always, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.